Back here on Good Morning Lake Martin, it is about right at bottom of the hour here, and lots of things to remind you of. Don't forget, of course, Jazz Fest tonight and tomorrow night. 2 nights of free concert events, 3 bands tonight at Strand Park, downtown Alex City. And then tomorrow night, we'll go down to the amphitheater at Kallaja area in the Lake Martin area. 3 more bands there, all free. So come on out and have a good time there. Also, tomorrow morning, the farmers market kicks off tomorrow morning.
Oh, awesome.
Fresh fruits and vegetables.
Fresh peaches?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have peaches?
Peaches will be there. And then head on down, of course, to the Little Calypso Art Festival down at Chuck's Marina. It's a massive thing. I mean, there's so many people there, and I love their logo this year. It's I think the best ever I've ever seen. That's going to be from 10 until 4. There's lots of
pretty much from the time you get out of work tonight until church Sunday morning. You have your day planned.
You do.
Go to Jazz Fest tonight, get up in the morning, hit the farmer's market,
Yeah.
head on down to Little Calypso,
Yep.
down at Chuck's, and then while you're down toward that end of the lake, just loop back around, stop at the amp, and spend the afternoon, evening there for the rest of the rest of Jazz Fest.
They're going to be in your back door down there tomorrow night.
Yep.
You need to take the wife down to the amphitheater and hear some great music.
Yeah, and let me compliment you on the music that you're playing today. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen. Maybe I've seen his hand just pat up and down to the music.
Yeah, I think Roger's got some moves.
Yeah.
Back to the discussion.
Yes, sir.
You just released your book.
That's right.
The last time you were here, you actually
Absolutely.
pulled it out of the box.
Just came out, yes.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about where we can find that again, and then just briefly what it's about.
First of all, if you'll call our office in Montgomery, Alabama, 334-277-5100. If you'll call that phone number and just say, I'd like a free copy of Roger Olsen's book, we'll send it to you. This book was printed courtesy of the Porch Band of Creek Indians. It was printed for one reason, for other people to get help, or if you just want to read my story and say, that's powerful, and hopefully it will help you understand that problem gambling really is an addiction. It's one of the most misunderstood addictions, okay? Because people can relate to alcohol. If I drink alcohol, I'm going to be under the influence. If I take drugs, I'm going to be under the influence. If I'm addicted to pain pills, my speech will be slurred, okay? But people cannot relate to the fact that even though you don't ingest or you don't drink a substance, okay, that you can get addicted to gambling and become then a compulsive gambler. And where all of this happens, Steve and Doug, is right here in the brain.
Wow.
It's all in the brain. And problem gambling has all of the attributes of any other addiction. Tolerance, withdrawal, triggers, urges. And this is why, like all other addictions, when the spouse says, why can't they just stop? They can't. It's up here in the brain. Also, another thing is that there is no concept of the negative consequences of your actions. That person that's getting his or her paycheck today and saying, gosh, you know what? I got a ton of bills to pay. I just need to go to the poker room. I need to get to the dog track. I need to get to the gambling establishment, and I need to double this money. And they walk away with nothing. There's a story in the book that I'd like to share real quick if I can.
Yes.
One night I was on my way driving to Vegas, and this is before my wife realized that I had a problem, okay?
But she knew you were going.
Oh, but she knew I was going, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm on the way to Las Vegas, and it's, because I'm from Southern California, and it's like 9 o'clock at night, okay? And I'm about halfway, through the trip, and my pocket pager, how's that for date stamping? Yeah, it goes off with a 911 page. Well, my wife and I had an agreement. If there was an emergency, then text 911 or page 911. So I stop, I call. She says to me, Roger, I just found out that one of the kids in the church youth group, and I'm pastoring in Southern California, one of the kids in the church youth group went out into an open field this afternoon, took his father's gun, raised it to his head, and he blew his brains out. And that's what she said. What do you want me to do? I said, I'm already halfway to Vegas. So call the family and think of something. Tell them that I'm in an area where I can't be reached, and I will call them first thing tomorrow morning. And I come home, and did you call the family? Oh, yeah. What'd you tell them? I told them you were on the way to Las Vegas. And I got furious. I said, what? She looked at me and she says, I'm not going to lie for you. And in all sincerity, that event alone should have been the red flag that said, buddy, you need help.
Yeah.
Here you are, the pastor of the church, and you're lying to your congregant so that you can get over there. Well, we have a saying about any addiction: desperate people will do desperate things. And I, it's one of those things that I have to live with every single day. The fact that I chose to make that decision instead of calling the family and saying, I'm turning around right now, I'm on my way.
Were you that disconnected, or was it you were so deep in it? I mean, it's like...
Well, the tolerance level.
Tragic as that was.
And you made the comment, and I think this probably is the answer to that. You said, I'm trying to remember exactly the word you used, but you said something about the fact that you just don't see the consequences.
No.
I forget exactly how you said it a moment ago.
You have no idea of the negative consequences of your actions. You justify things that a person that is not under the influence of an addiction wouldn't compromise. You say, it's okay, they'll be all right. After all, I've got to get to the casino. I've got this money on me. I need to be able to gamble. I need the money, okay? And I believe at that point in my addiction, I was already chasing my losses. So it was like, I got to get back to the casino and get back some of that money that I've lost, because the casino's obviously holding it for me. And that's the mindset of a problem gambler. Again, it's all up here in the brain, okay? The computer, and it takes 2 years of recovery before the brain gets back to normal, okay?
Wow.
But there's this tolerance and there's this withdrawal, and that drives the fact that just like an alcoholic that says, my God, I got to get to the bar and have a drink.
And I guess that's what it is, because I actually sit here and I have a tremendous respect for you, Roger.
Well, thank you, Doug.
Because of the fact that you've gone down this hellacious road.
Yeah.
And then by the grace of God, and I know that you attribute it completely to that.
Absolutely.
You've been called back out of that, and you've recovered. You're recovering.
Stay in recovery.
But as a person who has I look at that situation. I look at you when you were in that state, and I'm like, that's so stupid.
That's right.
You worked too hard for that money.
Sure. That's right.
I would say go buy something that you can fix and resell and make money on.
That's right.
For sure. Not something that's, and I guess that's the difference on how your brain is wired or the tendencies you have that lead you down that path.
One of the things that we talk to the clinicians about is financial literacy, and how so many problem gamblers don't have that knowledge of how to get themselves out of a hole. Our thought is, as long as we go back to the gambling, because it's a problem, that will solve the problem. Okay, I was working 3 jobs at the time. It wasn't that I wasn't making enough money. It's that I didn't have a plan in place to be able to budget that money and pay my bills. If I just used my money wisely, And now I understand there's people out there that when they get their SSI, it's $800, $1,000 a month, and they got more month at the end of the money, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know how to solve that problem, but I'll tell you one way that won't solve it. Keep taking that money to your gambling hole every time you get it, and just watch it go away.
Yeah. That's I attribute. I'm like Doug. I can't relate to what you went through.
Yeah.
But my grandfather died of lung cancer after being a chain smoker,
and
I don't know at the times. I'm like,
stop.
Grandpa, why don't you stop?
Yeah.
I can't.
He's like,
there you go.
I can't stop.
No.
Well, yes, you can. No.
Nope.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. It's the same thing, and that's so hard for people to understand with problem gambling, because their brain is pre-wired for it. Just like there are people that the first time they take a drink of alcohol, their body is allergic to ethanol, okay, and they become an alcoholic, all right? That's not their fault, okay? But if they know that they've got a problem and they know the help is available and they choose not to get that help,
then it's their fault.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amen.
Let's take a break.
We'll take an offering.
Yeah, and we may take an offering.
He is a pastor.
This is Good Morning Lake Martin.